Last week we talked about surface area. Today we're going to talk about volume. Okay, remember volume is the amount of space on the inside of a figure. So here we have a Rubik's Cube, and it is a cube, so all the dimensions are the same, 3 by 3 by 3. So in this case, we multiply the base, 3 times 3 is 9, times the height, 27. What is the volume of this figure? Okay, so let's see. So we have 1 row, 2 rows, 3 rows, 5 total rows. And if we find the volume of each of these, then we'll be able to just put them all together. So this back column here is 1, 2, 3, 4 times 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to be 16. This one right here is 1, 2, 3 by 1, 2, 3, 4. So that one's going to be 12. This one's going to be 2 by 4, which is 8. And this is going to be 1 by 4, which is 4. And that's also 4. So now we just add them up. 4 plus 4 is 8, plus 8 is 16, plus 12 is 28, plus 16 is 44. So we're going to type right there, 44 squares. And how do I know? I just found the volume of each of the columns. Okay, this is called a triangular prism. Okay, a prism is a solid object with two identical ends and flat sides. So the ends are triangles and we have flat sides, so that is called a triangular prism. What is the shape of the base of a triangular prism? A triangle. Okay, now these are rectangular prism, hexagonal prism, pentagonal prism, and triangular prism. What are the shapes of the bases? Number 1, rectangle. Number 2, hexagon. Number 3, pentagon. Number 4, triangle. This is a real easy screen. Okay, and then they give you some formulas here, and they say that you can find the volume of any three-dimensional shape using just one formula, and here it is. The volume is the base area times the height. Okay, what does that mean? Well, let's see what we have here. We have a rectangular prism. The base, if we find this base area, we multiply it times the height, then that's going to be the volume. All right, so let's try it. Okay, so here we have a rectangular prism. The base area is 5 times 4, which is 20, and it's 3 high, so it's going to be, what is the shape of the base? The shape of the base, number 1, is a rectangle. What is the area of the base? Number 2, the area of the base is 20. Okay, and they stop there. So just answer those 2 questions. All right, so what is the volume of this rectangular prism? Well, it's 20 times 3, which is 60. So the volume is 60. And what do we got here? We got 60 cubes in this case, right? Because we're finding volume. All right, this is called a cylinder, right? So a cylinder, what is the base shape? The base shape in this case is a circle. What is the area of the circle? The formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared. So we multiply the radius times itself, multiply that times pi, and then multiply that times the height. All right, let's try that. Okay, so here we have the volume of the cylinder. The radius is 6, right? So we're going to do 6 squared. So let me get my pen here just to show you how to do this, okay? So it's going to be, the volume is going to be pi times the radius squared times the height. Okay, so in this case, we're going to multiply 3.14 times 6 squared. Okay, we know that's going to be 36, and the height is 20. Okay, so go ahead and multiply these 3 and put that answer there. Okay, we have a prism, which is has 2 ends that are the same, and a pyramid has triangular sides which meet at a vertex, okay? All right, so what is the volume for a rectangular pyramid or a square pyramid? Well, you find the base area, which is 2-dimensional, multiply it times the height, and then multiply that times 1/3. Okay, let's try it. All right, so the base area is 5 times 4, which is 20. Right? So the base area is 20, 5 times 4. So base area times the height, and we're going to take 1/3 of that. Okay, so 1/3 times the base area, which is 20, times the height, which is 8. Now, look at this 10. What about this 10? Doesn't mean anything. It only helps us if we're finding surface area, which in this case we're not. So we ignore the 10. All we need is the height and the base area. Okay, so go ahead and multiply these and put your answer there. Okay, now what about a cone? Okay, again, a cone has a circle at the bottom and it has a height. So we're finding the area of the circle times the height, taking 1/3 to find the volume. So let's do it here. Okay, so we have the base area is a circle, 5. Okay, so again, the volume is going to be 1/3 times the base area times the height. Okay, so 1/3 times the base area is going to be pi r squared, because the area of a circle is pi times the radius squared. We're going to put that right here. Okay, so pi is going to be 3.14. Okay, and the radius is going to be 5, so 5 squared. So go ahead and put that into a calculator. And then your height is 13. Okay, so you're going to multiply all these. 3.14 times, let me just make this 25. Okay, because 5 squared is 25. So 3.14 times 25 times 13. And then you're going to take that number, divide it by 3, because that's the same as multiplying by 1/3, and then put your answer right there. Okay, we have the world's largest chunk of cheese. It is a rectangular prism. So what do? For a rectangular prism, the formula is really simple. The volume is the length times the width times the height. So you're multiplying 14.5 times 6.5 times 5.5 and put your answer right there. Now here we have some cylinders. Okay, again, how do we find the volume of a cylinder? We find the area of the square, multiply it times the height. Okay, so here we have a radius of 3.15. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply 3.5 squared times pi, which is 3.14, times the height, which is 11. So go ahead and multiply these out. That's SpaghettiOs. Beans, 3.75 squared, put that in the calculator, times 3.14 times 5. Okay, put that here for beans. And tuna, 4 squared, that's the radius squared, times pi times the height. Okay, and that's going to be for tuna. What do we have here? The Great Pyramid. Okay, so it is a square pyramid. Okay, so again, how do we find, what is the volume of a square pyramid? The volume is 1/3 times the base area times the height. All right, so that's going to be 1/3 times, the base area is a square, so 230 times 230. So 230 squared is the base area times 147. So in your calculator, I would do 230 squared times 147 and then divide that by 3, and that is your answer right there. And this is a volcano. It is also a cone. So what is the formula for the volume of a cone? The volume of a cone is 1/3 times the base area, which in this case is a circle, times the height. Okay, so 1/3 times the base area is going to be pi r squared. Pi, 3.14. Let's make these into brackets. 3.14 times, what is the base area? Let's see. The radius is 24,000. Okay, so again, you're going to need a calculator here because it's 24,000 squares. So 3.14 pi times 24,000, the radius squared, times the height, which is 8,000. Okay, so you're going to multiply all of this, divide it by 3, and that is your answer there. All right, good luck.